This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Our top headline this morning is a developing story out of Clark County where the sheriff's office says 5 people are dead after an apparent murder-suicide. We're going to share all the details we have so far on this story coming up here in just a minute. Plus,
when you lose a restaurant like that, you lose that foot traffic that comes with it.
Another Portland restaurant is closing its doors, but this time nearby businesses say it could be the end for them too. This morning we take you to North Portland where a neighborhood staple is calling it quits.
And the college bowl season is in full gear now after a big weekend of action on the field, including that Friday night showdown between the Ducks and the Huskies. One of them is going on to the National Football Championship playoffs. We're going to have more on that. Plus this, how about this? What an incredible shot to end the Ducks game against Michigan over the weekend. Lots of sports to cover here in just a moment. As we say thank you for joining us on a Monday morning here on Sunrise. Christine Pitawanich has the morning off. That's why Blair Best, you're going to see her here right now, is filling in.
Magic.
For Christine. And Rod is also off, so Chris has our weather forecast.
Sleeping in. It's nice to sleep in when the rain's falling out there, right? And we're going to get to do more of that over the next couple of days because there is more rain in our forecast. Let's get you out the door. This is the live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. Slate gray sky over downtown. It is 58 mild degrees at PDX, and we will continue to be mild here over the next several days. We're kind of in a lull in the action right now. Radar showing the showers, maybe a little bit of an uptick in the Cascades and the Coast Range. Here in the valley, we're kind of shadowed from that a bit, but I do expect occasional rain to be on the increase here a little bit later today. And our flooding concerns are still very much in play here. There is a a flood watch in effect for most of Western Oregon and Washington through 4 p.m. Wednesday. Today, occasional, generally light rain. The temperature's not going very far. Steadier, heavier rain comes in tonight, and overnight tonight and Tuesday looks like a real soaker. We'll detail that part of your forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Let's get you out the door. We do have a big traffic alert on the east side. You're looking right now from our Rose City sky camera. Those flashing lights off in the distance, that is the ramp from I-5 south to I-84 east. Portland police have that closed right now for a crash investigation. That crash happened about 2.5 hours ago. The ramp from I-5 south to Interstate 84 east is still closed. We'll certainly let you know more when we find out more about that, but that's obviously going to be a major traffic impact for the morning commute. Otherwise, live look at the Sylvan Hill. We're in okay shape on that side of town. We'll switch gears and take you over to the east side, I-205 over the Glen Jackson. A little drippy out there, but so far, no other major issues just yet, guys.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, we're still learning details about our top story this morning. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says 5 people are dead after an apparent murder-suicide. Here's what we know so far. The Sheriff's Office says it started just after 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at a home on Northeast 92nd Street near 115th Avenue when someone requested a welfare check after getting a text message from a family member saying they had hurt other people at the home. When deputies arrived, they found 5 family members dead inside, all of them adults. The sheriff's office says it appears 4 of them were murdered before the 5th person turned a gun on themselves.
It tends to kind of shock the conscience, I think, when a murder-suicide like this happens, or like any murder-suicide happens, but especially when it involves 5 people. I can't remember anything like this.
Officers say they don't know how exactly the 5 people were related or what led up to the shooting. Now, if you or someone you know is in crisis, know that there is help. You can call or text 988 on any phone. It'll connect you to a crisis center and a trained counselor.
Meanwhile, police in Gresham are investigating a shooting that killed 1 person and injured 2 others. This happened just after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon when police say they received a report about a disturbance at Northeast 165th and Gleason. When officers arrived, they found 2 people with gunshot wounds and another person injured. All of them were taken to the hospital. One of those victims wound up dying. Everyone involved is not being identified at this time. Detectives are still investigating, and they're asking any witnesses to come forward.
Well, new this morning, a restaurant in the Kenton neighborhood plans to close its doors after a decade. Now, other businesses in the area are concerned about their own fate. Ashley Grams has their story.
A statue of Paul Bunyan rises high above the streets, a towering feature in the small North Portland neighborhood of Kenton.
It's a really tight-knit group of people, and everybody is so supportive and encouraging.
Caring and compassionate, even when one of their own is closing up shop.
So when somebody has to shut their doors, it's hard.
After nearly a decade, Swift and Union announced they plan to close the restaurant for good at the end of December. As customers prepare to say goodbye, other business owners are concerned this closure is a representation of a much bigger problem.
When you lose a restaurant like that, you lose that foot traffic that comes with it. People on weekends after brunch walking around the community and really checking out what shops are available.
Mo Bachman owns Kenton Antiques and is the president of the Kenton Business Association. She says there are a variety of issues affecting Portland businesses that ultimately eat away at the bottom line.
We've dealt with break-ins, the economy, inflation. I mean, just there's really a number of factors that are making it difficult for people to come out and spend money in our community.
Food is expensive. Transportation is expensive. Rent is out of control. So it makes sense that people can't necessarily afford to eat out anymore. They can't afford to shop.
Lauren Krieger owns Woo PDX and admits it's been difficult to keep her doors open.
Might have called it quits if it weren't for this community.
Many are trying to find a way forward by relying on each other and reaching out to other Portlanders.
If everybody goes to a small business and even just buys something small at a place that they've never been to, that's helpful, that's meaningful, it all makes a difference.
Bachman says she's fighting to protect the bright, busy hub they've created.
Not only are we trying to figure out how to save our own businesses, but we're trying to figure out how to retain that vibrancy that makes any neighborhood walkable and enjoyable for everybody, whether you own a business or not.
Ashley Grams, KGW News.
All right, let's talk college football now because bowl season is set and we now know where the Ducks and Beavers are headed for the holidays. The Ducks, for starters, will take on undefeated Liberty in the Fiesta Bowl. The Flames, out of the Conference USA, 13-0 on the season. Kickoff for this one is set for 10 a.m. on New Year's Day. The Oregon State Beavers, meanwhile, have a big game against Notre Dame. They're going to face the Fighting Irish in the Sun Bowl. That matchup is set for December 29th in El Paso, Texas. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. We know the Oregon Ducks missed out on a chance to be part of this year's college football playoffs with their loss to Washington on Friday night. Let's go back there for just a minute. The Ducks were trailing late. They were not able to pull off the comeback. Final score 34-31. So 2 losses on the year for the Ducks. Both of those losses to the Huskies. And that sets the stage for the college football playoffs. Washington is in the playoff picture. Michigan is in the playoff picture. There you see the other 2 teams, Alabama and Texas as well. So that is your final 4 for this year's college football playoffs. Duck fans did have a reason to smile over the weekend thanks to Oregon's basketball team. They had a big win at home against Michigan. The best part came at the end, the freshman hitting the game-winning shot.
6 to shoot. Kuznar to Shellstad, the freshman for the game.
Yeah, the freshman being Jackson Shellstad out of West Lynn. Just graduated from West Lynn High School in June. First start of the season for the Ducks, and he hits that game winner. Very cool to see. Again, one more look. Jackson Shellstad, welcome to Eugene.
That is a thing of beauty. Just watching that, just
whoosh. We've talked about this kid a lot over the last couple of years. He was the state player of the year in high school before he graduated, and he had a dream to play for the Ducks. I'm sure part of those dreams, hitting the game-winning shot against a big rival in Michigan.
Hopefully a sign of more of those shots to come with a very long collegiate career. All right, let's get you out the door. We're in the middle of a really wet go of it, right? We've had about 2.5 inches of rain since Thursday night. We're probably going to pick up another 2.5 inches of rain from now until Wednesday. So we're in the thick of it. That said, we're kind of getting a lull in the action right now. Wells Fargo sky camera shows a slate gray sky over downtown. It's 58, no rain being reported right now at PDX, but there are some drips of rain here and there. In fact, radar showing an uptick in the showers now in the Cascades and in the Coast Range, the I-5 corridor. A few spritzes here and there. I expect those showers to become a little more numerous, a little more widespread as we go through the day today. And then as we go into tonight, we get soaked. The fire hose is pointed right back at Southwest Washington and Northwest Oregon overnight tonight and during the day on Tuesday. There's another system waiting in the wings after that one. And when you put all that together, obviously good reason this flood watch is in effect until 4 o'clock on Wednesday for Southwest Washington and Northwest Oregon. So here's the big perspective. Again, a little break in the action right now with some light rain. There's the next system and that big area of cloud cover there. That's the next atmospheric river, that moisture plume that is going to target the region later tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to track it for you with Futurecast because it's pretty impressive here. Well, after we get through the day planner, temperatures today not going very far. I thought I'd mention that. Rainfall through 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Again, this is on top of the wet weather that we've had this weekend. Maybe upwards of 2.5 or 3 inches of rain here in Portland, Salem. Easily double that at the coast. More than that in the Coast Range. And in the Cascades, yes, we're talking about rain there as well. Snow levels still up over the most of the Cascade ski resort bases for the next 72 hours or so. All right, Futurecast shows a little smattering of rain here and there throughout the day today. Not really a big deal today, but tonight that fire hose is pointed right back at us, and we're looking at hours of steady light to moderate rain, at times maybe some heavy rain that will really see those rain gauges filling up. As I mentioned, temperatures not going very far. We're in the upper 50s to near 60 today. Lows only bottoming out in the mid 50s. And as we get into the 7-day forecast, you'll see that we're pretty status quo in the temperature department and also in the weather department, status quo. Occasional rain today, steadier rain coming in tonight and really wet overnight tonight and into Tuesday. Probably another system coming in on Wednesday and Thursday. If there's a dry sliver out there, it's Friday. Our next rain train arrives for the weekend. All right, let's get you back to the roads real quick. I'm going to show you this. We've got a big deal on the east side, Interstate 5 to 84 eastbound. That ramp is closed for a crash investigation. We are working to get more details on this, but for right now, know that that busy I-5 South, I-84 East ramp is closed. We'll keep you posted. Blair?
All right, Chris, thanks so much.